Welcome to the Complete Story Series for Manga Storian, where we condense down your favorite manga stories and classics for you to enjoy. To fully understand what happened to your favorite stories, we highly recommend purchasing them yourselves. Over in the conference room, the teachers begin to sit down and discuss the recent events. None of the villains that popped up, the ones that disintegrated things or made portals, are registered in the superheroes' records, making them members of the villain underworld. All Might tells everyone that this attack didn't feel normal. It was an especially daring attack. Shigaraki went on about some ideology and bragged about Nomu, who's acting kinda childish. So the heroes decide that they will expand their search in an effort to apprehend these perpetrators. Meanwhile, back in class, now that the heroes have decided what to do about the villains, or at least what they're going to be doing, Aizawa tells everyone that even though they just had their last battle, it's time for the sports festival. The UA Sports Festival has become one of Japan's biggest events, so big that it's actually taken over the Olympics in terms of the scale of it. Here is where the students will finally get a chance to be scouted out by the nation's top heroes to become a sidekick for them. Aizawa goes on to state that the students will have 3 chances once a year to show what they are made of and use this to make a future for themselves. As the class period ends for lunch, Azuzu and Ochako and Tenya begin talking about how they have to do their best at this festival. But that's when All Might appears to be calling out Azuku. He holds up a little lunch bag and he asks him, "Wanna eat lunch with me?" Which makes Ochako burst out in a fit of laughter because All Might is acting like a schoolgirl. Azuku and All Might begin to have their lunch, where All Might confesses that after everything that's happened, he can only hold this muscle form for about 50 minutes a day now. And with that being said, he doesn't have much time left as the symbol of peace. All Might gave Azuku his power so that he can succeed him. He will have to become the next All Might. He'll have to make sure that at the sports festival he tells the world, "I am here!" One day after school, the students of the hero course find a group of students in the general studies class scoping them out. Katsuki tells the group that it doesn't matter. They're all just cannon fodder anyway. And then one of the students in the crowd begins to step forward and tells Katsuki that he's a little disappointed if that's all he can offer. He goes on to state that the general studies students are scoping them out because they are depending on their results. They might get transferred into the hero courses. It's also possible that the reverse can happen to them. The student then goes on to state that this would be a perfect chance to knock the hero students down off of their pedestals, so consider this a declaration of war. For the next 2 weeks, the students train as much as they can for the day of the festival. The students begin to gather before the festival is about to start, and Shoto calls out to Azuku. Shoto wanted to tell him that he will beat him. Azuku looks down and he says that he's not sure why he felt the need to tell him that. But like everyone else, they're all aiming for the top. So he'll say this though, he will not fall behind. Azuku will go for it with everything he's got, and he will tell the world that he is here! The students begin to enter into the stadium where the hero Midnight welcomes the students and goes on to tell everyone what their first event will be, the obstacle course race. The students will have to race around the stadium itself. Everyone starts to get ready at the starting line, and Azuku tells himself, this is it! He needs to tell everyone that he's here! And just then the light changes and the students are off! As the race starts, Shoto speeds past everyone using his quirk to freeze everyone else's legs in place. But soon they come to their first obstacle, the Fox villains from their entrance exam. Shoto freezes one of the robots, but as he runs past it, it begins to crack and fall on the rest of the students. Azuku continues to make his way up to where the rest of the students are, and he sees a piece of the robot that Shoto destroyed and decides to take it with him since he can't fully regulate the quirk just yet. The students continue to make their way to the next challenge where the leader of the pack, Shoto, reaches the third obstacle, the minefield. Shoto starts to slowly make his way through it without setting off any of the traps, when suddenly there's a loud explosion behind him. He turns around as Katsuki using his blast to propel himself across the field, setting off the mines. The rest of the students start to reach the minefield while Shoto and Katsuki struggle for first place. Azuku finally makes it to the minefield, and after seeing Katsuki use his blast to jump ahead, he has an idea. He begins digging up the mines and he starts to gather them all together, and then he jumps on it with the metal shield that he picked up off of the robot, flying past Shoto and Katsuki. Azuku then uses the shield again to hit the ground, setting off even more mines, launching himself again. Everyone at the stadium is watching the finish line doors to see who's going to be the first person through, and out of them comes Azuku! The rest of the students begin finishing up the course, and once everyone gets through, Midnight gives the announcement of the winners. First Azuku, second Shoto, and third Katsuki. As the rest of the students are announced, Midnight states that the top 42 will be moving forward. And without further ado, the next event is the Cavalry Battle! The remaining students will make up their own teams of 2 to 4 students and make a horse and rider formation. The rules here are simple. You must grab the headband of your opponents while guarding your own. Everyone is assigned a point value based on their placement in the last event. So the student who placed 42nd has 5 points, while the 41st person has 10 points, and first place is worth 10 million points. So everyone should aim for the higher ranked students. Izuku stands in the middle of the 3 group, the ones who won, terrified, as all of the students stare him down for the 10 million points. And that brings us to the conclusion of this chapter of My Hero Academia. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I love this series. I love the manga. I love the show. It's amazing. I hope you guys do. Follow us on Twitter at MangaStorian, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all of your favorite manga. I'll see you guys next time right here.